Bonjour classe. Aujourd'hui, on va parler du chapitre 8.2. Dans chapitre 8.2, on va parler de making, accepting, and declining requests. Donc, on va commencer at the top of your note sheet, asking information. How many do you want? Talking to one friend. We're talking to one friend. We know them on a first name basis, so we should be using the to form. Répétez-moi s'il vous plaît. Combien en veux-tu? Combien en veux-tu? Next line, how many do you want? Talking to a customer, somebody that we should be formal with. Répétez-moi s'il vous plaît. Combien en voulez-vous? Excellent. So then we're going to talk about different quantities of things. And we're going to start off with our masculine quantities. Répétez-moi s'il vous plaît. Un kilo de, un morceau de, un litre de, un paquet de. Next, we have our feminine quantities. Répétez-moi, une livre de. Now, the French don't actually use pounds. They use the metric system. So they're going to be using kilograms. But people always ask, how do you say pounds? So this is how you say pounds. Un livre. Désolé, une livre. So we had un livre, which is a book. Une livre, which is a pound. Next, répétez-moi, une tranche de, une bouteille de. Remember that double L in French makes that Y sound. Bouteille. Répétez-moi, bouteille. Excellent. Répétez-moi, une douzaine de, une boîte de. Bien. All right, making requests, going down this side in blue. Répétez-moi, tu peux. Rapporte-moi. Tu me rapportes. Prends. Achète-moi. N'oubliez pas de. Excellent. Remember, after a ne pas sandwich, it's always going to be followed by de. N'oubliez pas de. To accept, répétez-moi, je veux bien. J'y vais tout de suite. Let's look at the pronunciation real quick. Right up here. Je, j'y. Je, j'y. Répétez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Je veux bien. J'y vais tout de suite. Excellent. To decline, répétez-moi. Je regrette, mais je ne peux pas maintenant. Je n'ai pas le temps. J'ai des trucs à faire. Excellent. All right, then we're going to skip asking cost for now. Going on to the second sheet of your notes, we're also going to skip E and en for now. We have a little bit of a review of numbers. Actually, no. Asking cost on the first sheet of your notes. How much is it? Is up there at the top. C'est combien? Répétez-moi, s'il vous plaît. C'est combien? Ça fait combien? And then to respond, it is blank euros. Remember that we put our whole euros right here, and then our cents here. Répétez-moi. Il est euro. Excellent. Now on the second sheet of your notes, review of numbers. Répétez-moi, s'il vous plaît. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Répétez-moi 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Excellent. All All right, now going again at the on the second sheet up at the top, we have E and we have en. We've started to see these a little bit more and more as of recently. So we use E, which is a preposition. We use a preposition E to replace a and a place. It always goes right before the verb. For example, je vais à la bibliothèque. J'y vais. J'y vais. Je vais à la bibliothèque. I'm going to the library. This E means there. I'm going there. J'y vais. We use en to replace du plus a noun, de la plus a noun, des plus a noun, or de l'apostrophe plus a noun. It always goes right before the verb as well. For example, j'achète des bananes. I'm buying bananas. If we wanted to get rid of that bananas and say I'm buying some, this should be I'm buying, not I bought. I'm buying some. J'en achète. J'en achète. All right, let's do Abidjan real quick as well. So, bienvenue à Abidjan. Cliquez sur l'image pour regarder en time-lapse d'Abidjan. We're going to say that for in class. D'accord. Où est Abidjan? Abidjan is located in La Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast. And so here it is on the map of Africa. And then this is the entire country of the Ivory Coast. And Abidjan is right down here at the bottom. So où est Abidjan? Abidjan is located in La Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast, in Western Africa. Abidjan is the largest city of La Côte d'Ivoire and is the economic capital. The economic capital. The administrative capital is in a different city. Not even going to try to pronounce that. It's not French. So what's the difference between an economic capital and an administrative capital? Administrative, think government. That's maybe if they that's where all of their government happenings take place. And then their economic is where a lot of their trade and commerce takes place. So Abidjan is the economic capital of La Côte d'Ivoire. The trade and sales capital of Abidjan. Or of La Côte d'Ivoire, désolé. Abidjan is known for its marché. There are many open-air markets where people come together to sell goods and services. What are goods and services? Goods are physical things that you can buy. For example, we see down here, it looks like that those are some tomatoes. We got some different vegetables over here. Services are non-physical things that you still buy. Maybe you might have somebody who comes and cleans your house. They're offering you a service. You don't get anything physical out of that, but they come and tidy your house for you. That's a service. They still use a version of the franc called the West African CFA franc. So if you remember, we talked when we first started talking about the euro. We learned that the euro came out at about the year 2000, and it was supposed to be this one currency for all of the European countries, really unifying them together. Before the euro, the France used the franc, which was their own currency, and only used by France and its colonies. So why do they still use the franc? Well, we're going to learn here in just a moment that La Côte d'Ivoire was a colony of France. So when France was still using the franc, being a colony of France, they were using the franc as well. They've since split. And La Côte d'Ivoire is its own country, but they're still using a version of the franc called the West African CFA franc. And it looks like this. And if you look closely, there is this is French here. Banque Centrale des États de l'Afrique de l'Ouest. All right, so why do they speak French there? In Abidjan, they do speak French. So, well, why? La Côte d'Ivoire was a colony of France until they gained their independence from France in 1960. Although French is still the official language, more than 60 different African languages are spoken there. So here is a map of Africa, of the former French colonies in Africa, and it's categorized by their year of independence. So if you remember, Ivory Coast, La Côte d'Ivoire is right down here. It's in red. So again, 1960 is when they gained their independence. But you can see that France did control a large part of Africa at one point or another. D'accord, La Côte d'Ivoire is one of the busiest seaports of Francophone West Africa. So they're known for their again, their trade and their economics. When we say Francophone West Africa, Francophone means French speaking West Africa. Le Port d'Abidjan is one of the most important ports in all of Africa. It allows La Côte d'Ivoire to maintain its constant trade. So, what do they trade? What are their exports? Remember that exports are things that a country sends out to other countries, and imports are things that a country imports, they bring in to their country. So, their exports, things that they are producing in their country and sending out to others. It says, being a seaport, Abidjan is known for its fish. La Côte d'Ivoire is the world's leading cocoa manufacturer. In fact, all of Hershey's chocolate products, the cocoa is farmed sustainably from La Côte d'Ivoire. In addition, they produce pineapples, bananas, coffee, and palm oil. La Côte d'Ivoire is also known for their colored fabrics, which are sold in the marché, as you can see down here. In addition, certain groups are known for their masques traditionnels, which communicate the teachings of their society. They can be found in museums all over the world. The downtown area of Abidjan is known as Le Plateau. It really is the heart, the center of business. The social hub is known as Treichville. Treichville. It is very lively during the day and the night. It's known for their restaurants, again, the markets as well, and then also some nightclubs there. Again, there are good things and bad things to every place in the world. So let's talk about some of these social issues in La Côte d'Ivoire. They had a civil war from 2002 to 2007 due to a lot of social issues. There was a lot of general unrest in the country that caused this civil war. Despite recent efforts, La Côte d'Ivoire has one of the highest gender inequality rates in the world. And again, poverty is a large issue, with 46% of the population living below the poverty line. In 2015, the government started a campaign to redistribute wealth. And that is all that I have for you today. I hope this video lesson helped you. Au revoir. À bientôt.